human persons take across the globe, and I also take birth in somebody's house and they also take birth in my house. As such, every human being is basically the child of the other. As such, all other human beings are my children, and similarly I am also their children. It means it is not universal brotherhood that is the concept. Universal motherhood is the concept of the Veda Dharma. So Veda Dharma preaches that we are all one. Anything that divides the humanity, either on the religion or on the caste or on the nation or on the color or on the language, is not acceptable. That is why the Kala, Desha is not taken into consideration in the Vedic principles. If that is the case, let us understand what we had to do. So there are two things in the body. One is called the physical body. The other one is called the soul. The purpose of taking birth is to increase the quantum of energy of the soul. The soul have got 27 names. One name is Savitru, one name is Ravi, one name is Pushane, one name is Tara, one name is Brahma, so on and so forth. Depending upon the functions, it has got different names. So the purpose of taking birth is to feed the Brahman or the Atman. That is why whenever we take the food, we say Prana is Swaha, Apana is Swaha, Yana is Swaha, Samana is Swaha, Udana is Swaha, and Brahmane Swaha. It means we do a pratigna that I am eating the food only for the sake of the Brahman. That is why we say Brahmarpanam Brahmaharihi. So it means the food is not for the body, the food is for the soul. Every day putting the food to the soul is the purpose of the Gayathri mantra, and this is to be done in pranayama or the Yoga Shastra. Unfortunately, the Gayathri mantra and the Yoga Shastra got delinked. The Dharma in the Gayatri, that is in the Patanjali Yoga, pertains to Gayathri mantra. So whenever you want to do the dhyana, there must be a dharana of the Gayathri mantra. The Gayatri transfers the energy from the physical body to the soul. That is the purpose of the Gayatri mantra. But for this is to be done, but unfortunately what has happened is we have lost the track. It is now time for us to think how this Gayatri mantra must be implanted in the human body such that we can travel inwards, and what are all the advantages. The purpose of life is not to use the indriyas. Indriya means sense organs. The sense organ, if it is to be used, you need a digestive organ also. So sense organ and digestive organs work together. But the sense organs, what it has to do is, it works with the help of the mind. When the mind is with the eye, you will be able to see an external vision. When the external vision, you operate at the velocity of light. When the mind is with the ear, it operates at the velocity of the sound. So the mind with ear, with eye and different organs operates at different velocity. Consequently, what happens is, the mind has got a very high velocity. It can adjust itself with the indriya. It can work at the velocity of light with the eye. It can work at the velocity of the sound with the ear. But to have a vision, what is needed is, the mind and the eye must be in conjunction. It must be together. To know the hearing, the mind and the ear must be together. So if these two organs are together, you are able to see the object, or you are able to hear the object at the respective velocity of the organ. Somebody said, instead of the mind being with the eye, supposing the eye is with the mind, then also the vision is possible. But that vision will be an internal vision. When the eye is with the mind, it works at the velocity which is called as the velocity of the mind. When the ear is with the mind, it works at the velocity of the mind. The velocity of the mind is infinite. So instead of travelling at the Indriya Vega, we want to travel at the infinite velocity. That is the purpose of the Yoga Shastra. That is the purpose of the Dharma. As such, we wanted to gain and work at the infinite velocity. Infinite velocity means crossing the barriers of velocity of light of 3 lakh kilometers per second. So it means the man can work beyond velocity of light. And beyond velocity of light, he is able to understand how this universe has been constructed. He will get the entire Brahmagnana, or the knowledge of the whole solar system. Not only of the solar system, but also of the other solar systems also. As such, he gets an eternal knowledge. This eternal knowledge is called as Brahmagnana, and obtaining this is the purpose of the Dharma. For this to happen, the soul must be stronger. The Indriyas, which takes the energy from the food, must deliver energy to the soul. As such, the Indriyas has got a function to move towards the soul. So it has to feed the soul. It means it must generate the wealth to the soul. It means the food must be again prepared in the body, and this body's food is to be prepared to the soul. The soul is also called Rama. So Rama has to get the food only from the body. The body is basically takes the food first, eats, then it delivers the energy to the soul. That is why in Ramayana they wrote a story how this body feeds the soul, considering this body as an old woman, and this old woman how he eats a fruit, then delivers the energy to the soul. This story has been written in Ramayana. Similarly, the air which delivers energy to the soul is written as the air is delivered as Bhima, and he said the only person who can prepare the food to the soul is Bhima. That is why Bhima is considered as the best cook. He can serve the most beautiful energy that is needed for the soul. They also wrote in another story called as Nala Damayanti. The energy of the man is lost in Mada Vyavastha, that is in sex. So, if he has to prevent the sex, the Mada is to be reversed. That is called as Dhamma. So, controlling the sex, controlling the wealth of the body, which is the Virya, is what is called as Dhamma Vyavastha. Any person who has got a body in the Dhamma Vyavastha is called Damayanti. So this Damayanti or the energy of the body must be taken by the nervous system called as Na, and the Agni of the Atman called as La. That is why it is called as Nala. So the Nala Damayanti story was written, how we had to energize the story, and why Nala is the best cook in the world means the person who can deliver energy to the soul is the best cook. So in this way it is written. So how to know all these things is a question. So there arose what is called as learn everything from the mother. Matrubhyo Namaha. The mother is the first guru for the human body. Who is the mother? The mother for all human beings is basically the earth is the mother. Mata Prativyam. The Vedas says the Prithvi is the mother. As such, learn everything from the mother. So the Vedic concept is learn everything from the mother. Whatever the mother does, you do the same thing internally. If that is the case, what is to be done is, you have to closely observe the mother, what he does, how she gets this done. In the same manner, the earthly body also has to get this done. That is why my mother always works. In order to do the work, what she does is she revolves around the sun, which is the basic energy of the earth. And whenever she revolves around the sun, makes one complete revolution, she gets all the requisite energy from the sun. This duration is what is called as 1 year. In 1 year, what happens? My mother gets the strength in half the year, and another half year she takes that strength, convert that as her energy. So, my mother, the first half around is called as Uttarayana, in which she gains the energy from the earth, and in the Dakshinayana, she digests that energy in the earth. That is why in the first 6 months, she will be awake, and in the next 6 months, she sleeps because she is not taking the energy from the sun. On the contrary, she prepares the energy inward. So the Mother Earth is also called as Kumbha, and she receives the energy from the sunlight called as Karna. That is why she is called Kumbhakarna. So in 6 months, she is awake in Uttarayana, and in the other 6 months, it is in Dakshinayana. That is how the Ramayana, the Kumbhakarna's character has been brought in. That is the function of the Mother Earth. If that is the case, let us know that what is this Uttarayana and what is this Dakshinayana. An interval for about 10 minutes, please. Thank you.
Very good.
Yes, your good day.
I am Ranganatha here. Ranganatha.
Festival that is practiced by a Hindu is not for one group of people. It is for the whole of living organism. So I go on explaining every festival is meant for the living organism and how it is to be practiced inside. So Hinduism is a way of life.
Yeah.
It is not a religion.
Yes.
So I want to take this Hinduism out of the religion and say it is a way of life and tell that it is a pure yogic system in which we have to practice.
That's good. So time is short. I won't want to disturb. After everything is over, I would like to talk to you. I was just wondering if you can be contacted with Yogananda, YSR, that system,